Alright, guys, today we're going to talk about dialogue, what it is, and how we use it in our stories. At this point, you should kind of know what dialogue is, but for those of you that don't, dialogue is just a conversation that happens in a story. There's two common types, character to character. This could be one person to a group. Um, the numbers don't really matter. And then there's also inner dialogue. Inner dialogue is conversations that a character is having with themselves inside their head. Uh, we use dialogue uh, primarily in our narratives, any story. Sometimes you might use them in informational texts and persuasive texts, but that's not really what we're focusing on today. Uh, there are three basic rules to formatting your dialogue. That's quotation marks, punctuation, and the new speaker, new line rule. So quotation marks, you know what those are, little things that go between your words. Um, so right here, you put one on one side, one on the other. Again, this is pretty common. You should know this. Um, and it just lets your reader know, hey, somebody's talking. Punctuation should happen inside the quotation marks. So for example, no thanks, comma, he replied, and then you have your punctuation at the end to let you know that's the end of the sentence. Um, right here where it says he replied, that's called a dialogue tag. You don't have to use it every time, but you should use it relatively frequently in order to allow your reader to know who is speaking at that time. If I don't have my dialogue tag, I don't really know who's talking all the time. So every now and then, you definitely want to make sure that you have a dialogue tag. Let's see. We also have to follow the new speaker, new line rule. Every time there's a new person talking, you're just going to hit that enter bar and you're going to go down to the next line. And it allows your reader to know there's a new person talking. If you put it all together into one big giant paragraph, it's going to be really easy for your reader to kind of lose their place. And they're going to think that one person is having this entire conversation with themselves. Some other advanced rules that aren't quite as common would be dialogue within dialogue. So she asked me, what did you do? Instead of using a full quotation mark, you're going to use the one singular mark. Typically we use it, it's called an apostrophe. You would use it when you're doing a possessive. But this just kind of lets people know that she's asking a question, but you're letting us know that it's not you asking a question or your character asking a question. And then inner dialogue, you don't need to use quotations on inner dialogue. Usually we use italics to let people know that our character is thinking. And we have, again, kind of a dialogue tag letting the reader know this person is thinking this thing. So those are your rules. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please don't hesitate to ask.